Many years ago, when I was a music business consultant, I met with a particular client. At the time, she had spent upwards of £90,000. I'm talking quite a few years ago when 90,000 was still a lot of money then. It's still a lot of money now, but it was a lot of money then. She has spent that money on recording, creating websites, paying producers, traveling around the world to try and ensure that she was popular, and so many other things like that. She had spent that amount of money and she had not sold one single CD back then. So I was asking her, what are you doing? Many people believe that the more money they have, the more successful they're going to become. What if the opposite is true? What if the less money you have, the more likely you are to succeed? Just think about my friend, right? She had spent all this money building the wrong business. Why did I say it was the wrong business? Because she wanted to be a singing artist, but she didn't have the requirements or the ability to carry off the songs that she was writing. She needed someone else to sing those songs, and she refused to sell the songs because she wanted to sing them. So she was busy building the wrong thing, and so she had spent a fortune without realizing it. Then when she came to me, I had to point out to her, hey, listen, the reason why you are not selling is because you're trying to build the wrong business, you're trying to sell the wrong thing. What you should be selling is actually your songs. You know, because one of the biggest lies that we get told is, things like, oh, when you have more money, then you can start. When you have more confidence, when you have more qualifications, maybe. When you have more contacts, when you have more time, that's when you can start your business. What if having less is exactly what's going to help you discover the capabilities that you have? Have you ever looked at it that way? Well, the adaptive principle states you should start with what you already have. Many people are asking about what they don't have. Okay, what else do I need? No, that's a wrong question. You should be asking, what do I have that's going to help me start? Maybe you have skills, you have experience. All of us have this. We all have skills, we all have experience. We all have some form of relationships. We all have knowledge, and we all have some kind of reputation. So these are the ingredients that will help you to actually start from where you are instead of waiting for something else. That's why in this video, we're talking about why starting small is actually your greatest advantage. Why starting small is your greatest advantage? Because it is the hidden power of small beginnings. It is the hidden power that's going to help you to actually create a business that is going to work well. I want to remind you of the story of Richard Branson, or Sir Richard Branson now. We all know Virgin Airlines, right? But when Sir Richard was 16, he wanted to start a magazine. In fact, he did start the magazine, but he didn't have money. But guess what he did? He changed his business model. He moved from, okay, I'm going to spend money manufacturing these magazines and then give them out, to get advertisers to pay to advertise in that magazine. Then I'll use their money to go create the magazines and then give them out. So the constraint created creativity. There's something that happens when we don't have enough money that we think we should have. Then we become extremely creative about how we spend what we have. So I'll give another example. One of my sons has a poultry now in Nigeria. When he started, he didn't have money to go buy lots of expensive birds or create lots of cages that's going to put the birds. No, he started with what he had. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, he rented a place, rented some cages, spent some money improving it, and put some birds in there. And those birds started producing eggs, they started producing chicks, and he was selling them slowly but surely. Today, he has a business that is generating lots of money. Well, how did he do that? He started with what he had. He started with the amount of money he could lay his hands on. He didn't say, oh, when I can get this many millions, then I will do it. No. There's a particular story in the Bible, and it really proves the point here. That story in the Bible is in 2 Kings chapter 4, for those of us who know this. This woman, her husband had just died, so she's become a widow, and the creditors were coming to take her 2 children from her to serve out the amount of money the man who died owed. And she went to the prophet, and the prophet said to her this question. He asked her this: what do you have in your house? See, he didn't tell her about what she didn't have. He said, what do you have in your house? And she said, I have nothing except this little bit of oil. And then he told her what to do. The miracle happened. She became an entrepreneur. The problem she had became her greatest opportunity that actually launched her into entrepreneurship. So here is the deal. The hidden truth is this: constraints don't always limit founders. I'm not saying there's absolutely no way any constraint can hinder you. Well, I like to think that's the point, but some people allow constraints to hinder them. But constraints don't always limit founders. They often reveal the founder. They often reveal the founder in you, because when resources are limited, creativity tends to grow, focus improves, innovation increases. That's the point that I want you to go away with today. Just know that, hey, when things may look like they are in limited supply, is an opportunity for you to become more creative, opportunity for you to grow, opportunity for you to increase in your abilities to actually change things. Now, I'm going to give you an assignment to do, okay? This is what you need to do next. You want to write down everything you think you need before you start your business. Now, I want you to now cross out the things that you actually don't need to have this month before you can do something. And I want you to ask yourself this question: what do I already have that can help me get to the next stage? What do I already have that can help me to get to the next stage? This removes the focus from what you don't have to what you have. Hey, I want you to believe something. Founders don't suddenly arrive. They evolve. And this is what doing this exercise is going to enable you to do. It's going to enable you to evolve. All right. When we come back in the next video, I'm going to be talking about why successful founders become explorers all over again. It's like they're going back to the beginning of their founder's journey. Why is that? Is that important? You're going to discover that. So if you've not done your founder's journey assessment, you need to look in the description box below, find the free founders assessment journey tool, and go and take the founders assessment journey GPT. Go through it, and it will tell you what stage you are at, what you need to do next, and how to get to the next stage. I'll see you as we come back to the next video. See you soon.